The big yellow truck. Not very long ago, away over in Ceylon, our missionaries built a Christian school at the Lakpahana mission station. But the village people nearby were not friendly, and in one village they said, "We wish you hadn't built your old school so near to us." And in the other village they said, "You needn't think we'll ever send any of our children to your old school." Now, on that mission station, there was a big yellow truck. It was used to bring supplies from a big town 12 miles away, and that big town had the sweetest name. It was called Candy. And the children of the teachers just loved to ride to Candy in the big yellow truck. One day, Brother Jurians, the principal of the Lakpahana school, came running into the house and said, "Mother, would you and the children like to come for a ride to town in the big yellow truck?" "Oh, yes," said Mother. "Oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes," chorused the three older children with excitement. Even the baby seemed to know there was some big treat coming, for though she wasn't big enough to talk or walk, yet she waved her arms and legs and cooed and cooed. "All right, get ready then," said Daddy. "Brother De Silva and I have to go to town for supplies, and he's taking his wife and family too." There were squeals of delight as the children got ready and scrambled into the big yellow truck. "Just a moment, Father, while I get the baby's bottle ready," called Mother. "It's time for her to eat, and she can enjoy her milk as we jog along the road." In just a moment Mother climbed in. Brother Julian stepped on the starter, the engine began to rumble, and the big yellow truck started off. Down the side of the hill, through the coconut palms, and past the school building it went. And the children were so happy they were laughing and singing, and the baby was drinking her milk from the bottle. "Goodbye! Goodbye!" called the children as they waved to some of the students at work in the garden. "Goodbye! Goodbye!" they replied. "Have a good time!" Then out of the gate onto the road went the big yellow truck, and the children were so happy they were laughing and singing, and the baby kept drinking her milk from the bottle as she lay in her mother's arms. The big yellow truck jogged merrily along the road through the village where the people had said, "We wish you hadn't built your old school so close to us," and through the other village where the people had said, "You needn't think we'll ever send any of our children to your Christian school." But the children were so happy they were laughing and singing, and the baby kept on drinking her milk from the bottle. The big yellow truck jogged along around the corner, over the bridge, and down the little hill to another little corner. But just as the truck went around that little corner, the driver saw a great big passenger bus right in front. There was no time to stop. There was no room to pass it. There was only time for Brother Julians to choose between hitting the bus head on or going off the road down the steep embankment 150 high. The children screamed as they saw the big yellow truck turn sharply off the road. Then they held their breath as they felt the truck plunging down the side of the embankment engine first. Bumpity, 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 bump, down, 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 over small bushes and rocks it went. For a moment the children were all squashed up on top of each other. Then suddenly, with an extra big bump, the big yellow truck came to rest. Brother Julian jumped out of the cab and ran around to the back of the truck, his face white as a sheet. "Are you all alive?" he cried. "I think so," said Mother feebly. "I am, I am, I am," said each of the children as they realized the danger was over, and they were so happy that they kept on laughing and singing. The baby thought it was all a big game, and laughed and cawed and kept on drinking her milk from the bottle. "Just think, we came down that 150-foot embankment and didn't even turn over," said Brother De Silva. "And there are only a few small dents on the front fenders," said Brother Julian. "Do you know, I think the little bushes and little trees we came over must have helped to hold us back a little." "Yes, I do too, I do too," said Brother De Silva. But Mother said, "Do you know what I think? I think the angels must have held us up in their hands." "So do I, so do I, so do I," said each of the children. Then everybody was quiet for a little while, for you are always quiet when you know real angels are close by. By this time the passengers' bus had stopped on the side of the road just around the corner. The men were so sure everybody in the big yellow truck had been killed that they came scrambling down the embankment to pick up the dead bodies. But when they saw the big yellow truck still right side up, standing on its own four wheels, with only a few little dents in the front fenders, and everybody alive, and the children still laughing and singing, and the baby still drinking its milk, they said, "It's a miracle! It's a miracle! Your God must be a strong God. Your God is a good God, and your God is with you. If our bus had gone down this embankment, we all would have been killed." On looking around, they found they were in a little garden among some coconut palms about 10 feet from a river. There was a garden road not far away, and the men all pushed a little and pulled a little, and soon the big yellow truck was pulled onto the road. Then the children all scrambled in. Brother Julian stepped on the starter, and the old yellow truck started off and jogged along through the garden and up the hill and onto the road. Then away it went, around the corner, down the hill, across the river, through another village, and up another little hill on the way to Candy. And the children were so happy they kept laughing and singing, and the baby kept drinking her milk from her bottle. At last the supplies were all bought and packed on the truck. The children climbed in and sat on top of the supplies, and off went the big yellow truck down the hill, through the valley, across the river, up the hill, and around the corner, and past the place where they had the accident. And the children thanked God for the miracle and kept on laughing and singing. But the baby wasn't drinking her milk anymore, because she had finished drinking her milk long, long before they got to Candy. The story of what God had done for them had gone before them, and when they came to the village where the people had said, "You needn't think we will ever send our children to your school," the people came running out and waved and said, "Wait a minute, we want to see the big yellow truck. We have heard what your God has done for you. Your God is a good God. Your God is with you. We want to send our children to your school now." And when they came to the village where the people had said, "We wish you hadn't built your old school so close to us," the people came running out and waved and said, "Wait a minute. We want to see the big yellow truck. We have heard what your God has done for you. Your God is a good God and he is with you. We are glad now that you are living near us." And when they came to the students working in the school garden, the students waved and said, "Did you have a good time?" And the children said, "We surely did, and we had a miracle."